you, Heavenly Father. I just pray that we will see your glory, and God, I need you, and just use me and show us your glory and how glorious you are. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, so the message that I wanted to speak tonight is called Magnifying the Glory of God. In Romans 11:36, it talks about how everything exists only by his power and is intended for his glory. This is Romans 11:36. The heavens magnify his glory. That's from another passage. So the question is, what is glory? Glory, when we look at a bird or something, we say we see a bird in all its glory. That would mean that it is doing what it was intended to do as it was created to do. But with God, God just exists. He wasn't created. He's the creator. So the glory of God is really just who he is. In all his holiness and all in his perfect perfections. So God's glory is the radiance of his infinite and holy, valuable perfections. And it's when he goes public with his holiness and all of his infinite worth. Because in Isaiah 6 it says, "Holy, holy, holy, the earth is full of his," not holiness, but glory. Because it's when he goes public with all of his attributes, is what that is. So what does it mean to glorify God? See, we're people, and we're made in the image of God. We have part of God in us, and we're able to glorify him like all the rest of the creation. But we have the most potential to glorify him because we are made in his image. And to glorify God doesn't mean we add something to his glory, but it means we magnify his glory. We point to how glorious he truly is. We see him for who he truly is and glorify him by just pointing to him and worshiping him in response to that. So to glorify just means to magnify in my definition. We don't add to him because God doesn't need us. He just wants us. He doesn't need us, but he wants us. And we are able to glorify him. So I just wanted to, there's infinite ways we can glorify God, but I wanted to talk about 3 ways, broad ways we can glorify God in our daily lives. The first way we can glorify him is to know him. The second is to love him. And the third is to desire more of him. So to know God, first we have to realize that God is not an impersonal force, but he's a real being. He's not a human being, but he's a living being. And we can have a personal relationship with him that's ongoing. So we need to know him, and we need to know about him, and we need to pray and have a real relationship with him. To know about God, we look at what he's created and what he's written in the Bible, and what he's revealed through Jesus Christ, which is in the Bible. But those are the 3 ways he's revealed himself through creation. So we have to know the person of Jesus Christ and have a relationship with him. So we need to know him. After we know him for who he really is, then our response should be to love him. So to love him would be, first of all, we have to love people. And when we love people, we love God. Because Jesus said, if you look after the least of these, you've looked after him. So the meaning of that means we have to love the least of these. He also said we need to love our neighbor, and we need to love our enemies. So that covers everybody. We have to love everyone. And by loving those people, it's showing that we love God already. The second thing is we need to obey God and serve him. That's the other way we love God. Because Jesus said, if you love me, you'll obey my commandments. And so we need to obey him and serve him out of gratitude. Timothy Keller said a quote that said, the basic operating principle of religion is, I'm forgetting the quote, but it's the basic operating principle of religion is, I'm accepted through what I do. Basically, I'm accepted by God through what I do. But the basic operating principle of the gospel is I'm accepted God through what Jesus Christ has done, and therefore I obey because of that, what he's already done for me. So we serve him because of what he's already done for us, and we love him because he first loved us. So the third action we need to take is to desire more of God. We want to know him more, we desire to know him more, and our love for him grows, and we desire to love him more. So that should feed this desire of what we're doing here. It should feed it more and more. We desire the things of God more and more and more. So again, those are three ways we can magnify the glory of God. And we should live so when people know us well enough, they won't say Isaiah is glorious or Pastor Dax is glorious, but that God is glorious. That's what we need, our lives should point to. You see, it's like we have a telescope, and we magnify what we're pointing to. Are we magnifying ourselves, or an idol, or are we magnifying God? That's the question.